What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are going through the entire Junior H album that just released a couple days ago. Sad Boys for Life, Dose 2. Now, this is LLORO, which I think means "and I cry." So I will never translate these lyrics because I don't want to feel that kind of pain. Here we go. All right. First things first, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It truly makes a huge difference. So if you want to support me, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, share with your friends. It really means the world. Thank you. Also, last thing before we get into the chords, if you want literally anything I play, mic, guitar, picks, all my guitars, the basses, the 12 strings, everything, I got links to that in the description below, as well as my social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and my Spotify and Apple Music, all that stuff. All right, let's dive into these chords. All right, so here we go. I'm going to break down the chords exactly as I hear them in the song, and I spent a lot of time on this. This note is incredibly important, and you'll see exactly why by the time we get to like the third or fourth chord. Now, after I break down the chords how I hear it in the song, I'm going to give you an easy, beginner-friendly method to play if you just want to learn how to play a song, and what I teach is maybe a little too difficult. So I'll give you a beginner-friendly alternative that you can play if you just want to play with your friends right now. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. The first chord. Now, mind you, I am in D tuning. I'm going to explain everything in D and standard tuning. The diagrams here will be in standard tuning. The only difference is I'm 2 frets towards the hole, right? Because I'm in D. This is what standard tuning sounds like on your guitar. Most likely you're in standard. Unless you're in D, then I didn't have to explain any of that because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here we go, first chord. It's going to be this little major shape. For me, it's going to be in D on the 5th fret. In standard tuning on the 3rd fret. Same exact shape, your fingers, right? It's exactly the same. So here you go, first chord. The second chord, we're going to keep that 5th fret bass note, but we're going to go up to the low E string, right? And now we're going to make this full major chord shape. I got a diagram here if you want to see exactly how I have my fingers. Now, if you listen closely to the song, he does this rhythm where he'll pick the top, and then he'll do this drag, right? So it kind of sounds like this. Notice that little, you kind of just got to wiggle through it, you know what I mean? Just scrape through the guitar, rake it, right? All right, the third chord, you could play it back here like this. And I'll have the diagram, but I'm not going to teach that one because if you listen closely, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chord all have that note. You have to listen so close, and it's going to be panned to the left. That high, I don't even know what note that is. That note needs to be in there. So how do you get that note when you're playing all the way back here? Well, you take this shape and you play it all the way up here in D on the 9th fret in standard tuning. That'll be the 7th fret. So for me to hear in D, right? You make that shape and you got to hit the whole bar, man. And it's that same rake pattern. Notice how you can hear this, right? If you don't believe me, go listen to the song. You will hear it on every single one of these next 3 chords. So this is the first of those 3, right? This is the 3rd chord of the song. Then we go to this minor chord shape in that same 3 fret box, right? So we were here on the 9th fret, 9th to the 11th. Then we're here again, 9th to the 11th. Root note right here on that 9th fret in standard tuning, 7th fret. You still get that sound. Now remember I said on the last chord, we still, 3, 4, and 5, 5th chord, you still need to hit that note. How do we get that with a major chord that's back here? So we went here, right? And then the minor chord. And then to turn it all around, we do this major chord shape where I like to do this thing. I explained in the last song. I see a lot of like the pro guys like Damien and Ulises and all them, they strum it like this with their pinky finger flat and then they wrap that ring over. I just like to take my ring, put it right there, and then just pull it back on the guitar. It doesn't sound great. It's not perfect, but you get the chord. So what you're doing there is you're going to have your pointer finger here on the 7th fret in D tuning, 5th fret in standard tuning, and you're going to bar everything else 2 frets up. So for me, that'll be the 9th fret, y'all in standard tuning, 7th fret, diagram, standard tuning. All right, here we go. And then you're back to the top. I'll play through it one time real quick for you. Notice how I hit that on all 3 of those chords. You'll hear it in the song. I'm telling you, it's such an awesome addition that they did to it, to choose this instead of, and then this instead of, right? And then this instead of, all right? There's a bunch of different options, but it's super cool that the way they did it the way that they did. Okay. Moving on. Really quick before we move on to the beginner chords, I just want to make notice here. This is a $250 guitar. With the help of you guys, I've built a following over 1 million, not subscribers, but followers across social media, playing a $250 guitar. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want you to think that you need to drop thousands of dollars on a Tammany or other brand in order to learn how to play guitar. You can have a successful guitar career playing a $250 guitar. All right, beginner chords. Okay, so the beginner chords. I'm going to try to keep these all at 3 fingers or less so that we don't have to do these big bar chords. All right, so let's do it this way. We are going to do, starting with that same first chord, we're going to have this 3-finger chord, major chord, with your middle finger on the 5th fret in D, 3rd fret in standard tuning, right? 3rd fret standard tuning. I'm 2 notes lower, so that means I'm 2 frets higher on my guitar. And you're just going to alternate. Bass line. That's the first chord. Now we're going to move on to that same major chord, but I don't want you to worry about getting these last 2 strings, right? As long as you can get the top 4, that's your most basic major chord you can play while getting that low bass in there, right? So here it is, right here, that same 5th to 7th fret little box here. In standard tuning, you'll be 3rd to 5th, but here you go. It sounds like this, 2nd chord. Now, instead of rolling all the way up here to get that, we can play a sort of modified 7 chord where we'll just play it back here. It sounds a little different, but it gets the job done. If you play it along with the song, it will sound okay. It'll work, right? It will work. So that's the whole point of this. So here I'm on the 4th fret in D. For y'all in standard tuning, that'll be the 2nd fret. You make a little triangle, right? Middle finger, 4th fret in D, 2nd fret, standard tuning. Pointer finger, the next string higher. And I'm on the 3rd fret here for y'all in 1st fret standard tuning. And then ring finger on that 4th fret in D, 2nd fret standard tuning. Get that 7 shape. It sounds like this. So the first 3 chords for the beginner version. Nice. Now where? That's a great question. The 4th chord, we're going to go up here. It's quite a jump. Believe me, I know. We're going to come up here anyway. And instead of making this whole major chord, for me, that's the 9th fret in standard tuning. That'll be the 7th fret for y'all. Diagram, standard tuning, don't forget. You can always just look there. Instead of making this whole big major chord, or minor chord shape, we'll just do this minor 7, which Junior H plays in a lot of their songs. Not in this one, but maybe the harmonia is. Nice. And then we go back to a major chord shape, 2 frets back. So we were here on the 9th fret, that bass note. We'll go 2 frets back, 7th fret for y'all in standard tuning. That would be going from 7 to 5. So here we are on the 7th fret in D, 5th fret in standard. That's the last chord. And what's nice about this is if you go from this shape right here on that 7th fret in standard tuning, or 7th fret in D, 5th fret in standard tuning, you just take it back 2 more, And you're on the first chord. Cool. Moving on to the Requinto, I'm going to break this down into small bite-sized pieces so it helps you memorize it. If you try to memorize it from beginning to end without breaking it up, that's when you have a bunch of mistakes and it can get really frustrating. So we're going to break it down into little parts. I'll play it 2 times slowly and then 1 time normal speed, and we'll just chop through the whole thing, and all of a sudden when you get them all down, you paste them together, and congratulations, you've played the Requinto. So here we go. So we're going to start right here. This is the 9th fret for me and the 7th fret for me. That was the pointer finger 7th fret. For y'all in standard tuning, that'll be 7, 5. But here we go. We're gonna do it just like this. Only thing I really want to mention there is this kind of like thing that he does. It sounds super cool in the song. It's not necessary. You could always just do the again, right? You don't have to do this kind of thing. Even myself, I don't play it perfectly. And I like where my ring finger is, that's not a good note to hit at all. So I just kind of mute it just to kind of get that rake sound he has. It's not perfect, but it sounds okay, and that's fine. And we'll move on. Moving on to the third part. Only part I want to point out on that one is make sure you keep your fingers down on the fretboard when you slide between these notes. You can hear it in the song. It sounds really good. It'd be a shame if you took it out. So it's this part right here. I like that a lot more than those slides. Very good. Keep them in there. Cool, and that's the whole Requinto. Last thing that I forgot to mention even at the beginning of that is the way you lead into the song. It's not that hard, if I'm being completely honest. If you have a decent pinky, you can manage. Also, by the way, you don't even have to play that. You can just count people in. It's not necessary. You can play the song without it. But if you want to learn it, here you go. Cool, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want literally anything, 12-string, mic, pick, capo, 6-string, bajo, bass, literally everything I have, I've links to that in the description below. If you buy anything from there, whatever it is, I get a kickback and it helps me a lot. So thank you very much. I appreciate y'all being here and supporting me. I'll see y'all in the next video. Check out my music. Peace.